Alright guys, so in this video, now that we have our boards all set up on Board Booster and we've hopefully gotten into some group boards, basically we're going to sign up for a website called boardbooster.com. So you can actually start for free. The free trial includes 100 pins, and then you go to monthly plans basically. So you got 100 pins free, and then it's 500 pins a month for $5 a month. So it's very cheap. It goes up in price as you need more pins, but honestly, it'll be a very long time before you're really needing to go above $5 to $20 and to get started. 100 pins is pretty good for free, so you're gonna get some traffic for that from that. Okay. And also, you don't even really need Board Booster. You can do this all manually, but I'll show you why Board Booster really automates the whole process and puts it on autopilot. So go ahead and sign up. I'm going to sign in since I already have an account here. Okay, so I just want to show you a couple things. If we go to pinning tools and we go to scheduler, this is where I basically schedule in all my boards to be posted to. So basically, if you don't understand yet, all we're doing here is once we get into a group board, we're going to add it to Board Booster, and we're going to make it so it automatically pins our content from our best of board. So if I go to reports, I could see some stuff here like board performance, follower growth, best time to pin, group boards to join. And also, as I mentioned earlier, there's, if you want to see some good group boards to go after in your niche. So we're in women's fashion. Here's some great boards that we can actually go after with really high repin rates. It even gives you the repin rate. So what a repin rate is basically if you pin something to a group board, it'll tell you what the amount of times the average amount of times it'll get repinned. And when you start getting repinned, it means that the people in the board are sharing it to their own Pinterest. And as something gets repinned on autopilot, it has really big viral potential. So the benefit of Pinterest is people just keep cycling around this content. So the more content you have, the more these pieces keep getting repinned around the internet. So as you can see in the women's fashion niche, if you get into any of these boards, these are huge. Okay, because basically it means that there's massive repin rates. One of my main sites is in the dog niche, so if I go to pets, I could see that there's a ton of really good ones in here, and with really good repin rates. So just showing you that if you want to do some repin stuff. But if we go back to regular Board Booster now, basically once you sign in, and you've added group boards, you go to account settings, you put in your Pinterest, okay? So you connect your Pinterest name here as well as other information that you want. And then once you do that, it's going to be connected. You're going to go to pinning tools, scheduler, and you're going to click add boards. Now once you click add boards, you're basically just going to look for your group boards. And how do you know it's a group board? It's basically going to show you this little people thing here. Anything that doesn't have a people thing is just one of your regular boards. You don't want to bother pinning to those. We have Mass Planner to do that. So Board Boosters it's really so we can automate pinning from one board to the other with our group boards very easily. Okay, so if I come down and I pick something that's dog related, okay, cute pets, I think I saw. Cute baby animals, okay, let's do that one. So you click continue. If you want to start at 2, you could start at 2. I'm going to do 3 just to raise it up a little bit. And I usually do 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Click submit. So if you look, it says it's creating a secret board. I'm going to show you what that means and what we're going to do with that. Shouldn't be too much longer now. Okay, so it finally went through. I had to pause it a little bit. It takes a minute. If you go to search, you could search for that board. So I think this was called Cute Animals. Or maybe it was Cute Baby Animals. Yeah. So if you come here, basically you click on the post. You go to this settings wheel here, and then we're going to go to advanced settings. Keep it on source board. Start over. So what this means is we have a source board here. Basically, when it auto pins to this board, this group board, it has to pin from somewhere. So right now what it did is it created a secret board called Cute Baby Animals. And basically you want to remove that secret board because you don't want to have to basically have all these different boards that each one pins to a different board. You want to have one source board. Okay, so you could be your best of board. So remember how we made our best of board? You could just have it automatically pinned from the best of board, which is all our content, which is what we want. We want our content to be repinned into all these group boards for people to see and start repinning all over the place. And then when people click on it, it takes them to our website. That's how we're getting all of our traffic. So the source board here, you can just do it to your best of your website board. Okay, I actually created a duplicate for no reason at all. That's the identical to my Doggy Desires, my best of board, so I'm just going to use that one. Keep it on source board and start over. So what that means is basically you want to keep it on the source board and you want to start over. However, you have to read the rules, okay? So a couple things I'll note here for you. Read the group board rules. Because some of them will say no repeat pins for a month or something like that. So basically you just want to read it and make sure that you're setting your pins up in the way that's okay. If there's no limits and it says, you know, maximum 3 pins a day, a lot of them will say, you know, max 3 pins per day. You just set it to 3 pins, okay? And you have a lot of scheduling options here of when you want things to go. Multiple pins per day or 1 or less per day. It's pretty simple. You set your source board. Again, put all of your pins in one source board. You could use your best of board if you want, because what happens is once you start adding new content, imagine you have a different source board for all of these different things. Meaning, what that means is you'd have to actually pin your new content into all those source boards that each one is feeding into a different group board. This way, you only have one source board, and when you feed into that source board, when you put new content, since all of the group boards are getting the source from one group board, you don't need to redeposit your new content into a bunch of different source boards. So it just makes it easier for you. So set this to either your best of board or make a secret board and put all your pins in there, okay? And then you could do that. You click save. And you're done. Okay, now one other thing I want to show you. By the way, now that you did that, you're going to start getting a ton of traffic to your site because now that group board is going to start getting pins. People to start repinning it. Now, once you do that, once you have pins going, like for example, this Woof You board, I've been pinning to it for a little while. We have some details that we could see here. It tells you how many times I'm pinning to it a day. It tells you what the repin rate is. So this is a 5.9 repin rate. Anything over 1 I'd consider really good. Anything less than 1, it's probably not great. Okay, but again, there's a lot of variables, so it's just a really rough guideline. Let's read what it says here. It says this board has 1,222 pins and 5,730 followers. Average pin has 5.9 repins and 1.9 likes. Pin Scheduler has added 45 pins to this board, including 1 pin yesterday and 1 pin today. 1 more pin is expected by 10 p.m. today. So if we go here, I just want to show you the recent history. So it's showing the last 3 times that it's pinned, and it's showing that we haven't really gotten too much engagement out of this, okay? But if we go to another board, like this one has a lower repin rate, not much there either. So let's look to see if we're getting any, let's find one where we're actually getting some engagement. So, Alright, so here's one where we got a repin, okay? And it really depends on the board. Some boards you're going to get a ton of repins and likes, and other boards you're going to get like none. And you never know what it's going to be. So the more boards you're in and the more content you have, the maximum amount of traffic you're going to be able to get. So that's something to consider once you start pinning. And let's say you have you're allowed 500 pins per month, or 5,000 pins per month, and you don't want to spend more than that. What you have to do now is you have to start looking at the boards and seeing which boards are your best performing boards. And to see that, you go to Report, Board Performance. And we can actually filter our board performance as soon as it loads. Okay, so this is the chart we get. We can actually look at what our average repin rate is. So I see that this one is giving me, I'm actually getting really good repins out of these two, 5.7 and 4.0. That means these are really doing well for me. And you can see I have a ton that are down in 0, which means I'm getting 0 repins. It doesn't mean I'm not getting any clicks. I could be getting clicks from these, but it's a safe bet to say that I'm getting a lot more engagement out of these boards, okay? So let's say I wanted to cut down on the amount of group boards that I was pinning to, like for price reasons. Maybe you don't want to spend for the higher plan and you only have a limited, 500 a month or whatever. Start by getting rid of the ones that are at 0. Okay, so if I eliminated these, it probably wouldn't be too much of a traffic loss because I could just start from the 0.1s and go up, and all of these would be basically stuff that I would just keep pinning to. Okay, so that's kind of how it works. Some other really cool metrics you get here are best time to pin. So I give that a second here. So this will tell you what times are going to get you the most repins or whatever. So this board is based on the 6,000 pins that we've added to your public board. It shows the average number of repins accumulated by your pins that were included. So as you can see, for some reason I get a ton of engagement. Depends on the hour, but basically repins. It tells you the average repins on average. So I get better repins, it looks like, after 9 p.m. But for some reason, between 12 and 1 a.m., I got even higher repins, 0.5 repins on average and 0.8. And you can actually schedule the times that you want to repin. So that's why I love Board Booster, but that's a really good metrics to have. The last important metrics is follower growth. So as you can see, I'm getting really steady followers every week. So from 1 week to the next, I went from 3913 to 4019. So I had over 100 followers a week of people. So that's growing on autopilot, and that's awesome. So a lot of these people who are seeing my posts are growing, are going back to my Pinterest and following me. So it's really good long term to have long term growth with this going on. So I'm growing at 11.5% per month, which is pretty awesome. And that's basically how you get your traffic flowing from Board Booster. I hope this made sense. It's pretty simple to kind of get started with. I'm sure you see that. And it's pretty simple to optimize. As I said, you could shut off all the boards that are bringing you very low traffic. If you have money problems, then you're limited on how many boards you can keep going. I'm leaving just everything on because it's bringing me a lot more revenue than without. So basically, that's all I wanted to show in this video, and I will see you in the next one.